So this is our VPC, okay. So inside VPC, two subnets are there, okay. This is public subnet. And this is private. And coming to public subnet, we have some machines, okay, like some publicly visible machines. For example, this is for some application like front-end application. So the front-end codes belongs to this VM, okay. This is a VM. So some back-end applications we mostly like deploy within private subnet, okay. So this will be some database, consider like that. So this is a database server, okay, VM. So coming to this database, okay, for example, consider this is a database, okay. So this database does not have any public IP. No public IP. And this subnet is private. So there is no interconnection to this subnet, okay. No connection, no internet connection. But some scenarios, okay, some users, okay, the remote users needs to access this database server. The requirement is we need to access the database server, okay, or we need to manage, or we need to like install some packages to this inside the database machine. So how we will proceed the thing? Any idea how to take remote connection from a remote user to this private machine? So in this scenario, we can use Bastion host. So Bastion host actually, Bastion host, or one more name there, gem server. Gem server. We call it as Bastion host or gem server, okay. So what will we do? We need to create a machine in public subnet, okay. Where we created a machine and we name it as gem server. This is actually a virtual machine. And the user first log into the gem server, okay. Then from the gem server to the the database, we will create a connection between the gem and the database. So the user can first log into the gem, then the user can log into that database using this Bastion server. Got it?
Yes.
What about
Sir, is it a JUM jump server?
jump? Just jumping. First we jump to the this server.
Okay, jump
Then
server.
from here we
JUMP.
jump. Yeah, jump.
Okay, sir.
So, just to be clear, so the purpose of this VM is just to act as a bridge between the database server that is on my
Right.
private VPC and the internet access that is in the public subnet.
Right.
Okay.
And here you can see both machines are the same VPC, right? So you can say both machines are in same network, because both are in
Okay.
same
Yeah.
VPC. Yes. Yes. In this case, okay, the user can access this database, okay, via gem server. But still this database does not have internet connection, okay, because here we use, for example, from the remote user to gem, we use internet connection, okay, internet, because we need internet connection to access from the remote user to gem server. But from the gem to database, we did not need internet connection, okay. We are trying to use local connection, because I told you, because whenever we deploy missions or subnet, there is a local routing there, right? So from here, from this gem server to the database, we use local connection, okay? No need of internet connection for this connection from the gem to database. Same way, the database does not have internet connection. So some other scenario, okay? For example, the machines that we keep in private subnet, okay, needs to access internet. So how we will fulfill the requirement? Because this database needs to connect with the internet and downloading some packages, or we need to install the security patches. So many scenarios there. For example, some package update. So installing some other dependency software or anything. So in that scenarios, this private machine needs to talk with the internet, right? Because we need to download the packages, and for that case, we can use NAT gateway. Okay, so NAT actually, we will configure NAT in the private. NAT is a service, okay, like one of the component of VPC. So NAT is a service. So that service we will configure inside a public subnet, and we will route this database. We will add one route from the database to NAT. NAT is a component, and it's a services, has only one way connection, okay, one way connection. NAT has only one way connection, that is outbound. No inbound connection for NAT gateway. That means if we configure NAT gateway and attach that is configured with any other machine or routing to any machine, we can say that machines have only outbound connection. That means this machine go to internet and download the package, right? There is no incoming traffic through the NAT gateway to this machine. That means no one can access this machine through NAT gateway. So some interview questions, these are the questions we face in interview, okay? So we have one machines in private subnet, how we will access first question. So that we can say we use the Bastion host and configure. The next question may be some machines are in private subnet, and that machines sometimes need to access internet and download some package. So how we will configure like that? So we can say we can use NAT gateway and configure to that machine. So NAT have only outbound connection, no incoming connection via NAT to the machines. Okay. So what is the difference between what is the difference between NAT gateway and internet gateway. Simple. NAT have only outbound connection. Okay. Outbound connection. So internet gateway have two-way connection, like inbound and outbound. So we can say internet gateway is for internet connection because up and down there. So NAT have only outbound connection. That's the difference between NAT and internet gateway. Got it?
Is NAT the network address translator?
Right.
Okay, thank you. So it gets what the address is and it translates it for it.
Right.
The outsider. Okay, thank you.
Anyone have any doubt?
Sir, what do we
So
call that term which provides the both connections you said, like
Internet
inbound and
gateway.
outbound, so in both case?
Yes, internet gateway. We already configured internet gateway when creating VPC and
yeah.
attaching to VPC internet gateway.
So we are supposed to say like internet gateway provides the inbound and outbound both
Yes,
connections.
that way we called the internet connection, right? For inbound and outbound means we need to download some things and we need to upload some things, right? That is
Right.
inbound and outbound. Or we
Right.
need to access internet, that is outbound.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yes.
so whenever a request, so whenever my my database, whenever I'm trying to access something from the internet, from the database server to an outside app and any other server outside, the request will be going via NAT gateway to jump server and then to the remote.
No. Both are different scenario.
Okay.
Jump
Okay.
for accessing private machines. Okay.
Okay.
And when we configure NAT gateway, that is the private machines needs to talk with the internet. So we can use NAT gateway.
Okay.
Got it.
Jump. Oh yeah, jump is just to access internal VMs.
Right.
Got it.
Tawfiq, what is the difference between NAT gateway and NACL, NAKL?
NACL we did not configure as of now. That is for networking within our VPC subnet level configuration NSCL.
Okay.
So today we can configure Bastion host. Okay, so how we will work, how the Bastion works, and everything we can. My screen is visible, right? AWS console.
Yeah.
Yes.
So in our case, I hope there is one VPC subnet, and we need to deploy some machines. Okay, so directly we can deploy machines. So go to launch instance. So now I'm going to configure Bastion. Name it as Bastion. And here we need to provide the networking settings. So I am choosing Apple. And see here there is two subnet. One is private and public. So Bastion comes under public, okay? Because we need to first log into the Bastion. Public IP enabled. And SSH is fine. Launch instance. So same way I'm going to deploy one more machines that is for the database. See, I am using the same key pair for the database server, okay? So coming to networking, I'm choosing Apple VPC and choose the private subnet, okay? And auto assigning IP is disabled. We didn't need any public IP because this machine comes under private subnet and we did not expose the machine. We 100% we make sure the machines does not have any public access. So both machine is up and ready, I think. Okay. Okay, when we clicking Bastion, we can see the Bastion details like IPs, public IP here, see, and the private IP. And this is purely publicly visible machine, okay? So coming to Bastion, see, there is now public IP. And only that we should have private IP. That is for internal communication. And coming to the networking, see the subnet that the database associated. See, it's private subnet. Okay, so the private subnet doesn't have any root that is for internal connection. Okay, that subnet is purely private. So we can check. Okay, so I'm selecting the machine and
Sir, can you show the root address in case of a public like Bastion?
Bastion root we already configured. Like, for example, go to networking. Okay, select Bastion and go to network and go to the subnet. Okay, see, I'm opening with another tab. So this is the subnet of public mission, Bastion mission. Okay, so
Okay.
select, go to the root table. See, two root attached. One is for local and other root is anyone can access via internet gateway to the subnet or the subnet resources.
Okay.
So this is called the public subnet. Okay, we make the subnet as public. Got it?
Yeah.
And coming to that database server, only local root there. Okay, no
Yeah, that's
internal connection there.
Yeah.
I
So the
mean,
local is for the route which in which the database is the target.
internal communication. Like, for example,
Okay.
that subnet, within the subnet, there are different machines are there coming to real world scenario. So that machines needs to talk each other. That's why we create a internal communication, like a LAN connection. Okay. In earlier we discussed, for example, we have an office and there are 10 machines are there. So we need to create a connectivity between each machine, right? So we will put some private IP, and using switch, they can talk each other, right? So same scenario coming to cloud, these machines have an internal connection, like a local connection between that subnets and machines.
Okay, sir.
So that Bastion have IP, and uh, yes, coming to database, no IP there, okay. And I will show the network as well. This is a subnet, belongs to the database, and we can check the route as well. See only one route here, local. And we can't get a connection when we connecting browser still, okay, just to connect. Here we can see no public IP assigned, instance is not in public subnet, everything we can see here. So there is no connection option as well, see. So it is disabled. So now we are going to jumping, okay, the requirement start here, okay. Because our requirement is we need to access the database. As of now, you can see there is no way to access, right? Just click connect, no option, see. Remotely we can't connect, like using putty or anything, because we didn't have a public IP. So the same scenario, how we will access the machine database? So that we created a Bastion host. As of now, Bastion, we didn't configure Bastion, okay? We just created a virtual machine and named it as Bastion. But we need to configure this machine as a Bastion for the database. So first we need to log into the Bastion server. Connect. So what will we do? We have a machine. We have Bastion machine here. This is our gem server, okay? And this is the database. DB. So first we will log into this machine, okay? So from this machine, we will take a SSS connection to DB. So for that, how we will access this machine? Or for example, we have a machine AWS, a public machine. Okay. We have a public machine. This is a VM, publicly visible VM, purely in AWS or any cloud provider. Okay. So how this is a remote user. Remote user have a laptop, right? A local machine. So how we will access this machine? Can anyone say? Leave the scenario, okay? I mean, we have a virtual machine and we have a a remote user there, okay? So the remote user have a laptop and a internet connection. So how we will access the virtual machine?
Through the jump server.
No. Leave the scenario. This is a normal
Okay.
state.
Through SSH connection, like, and how, your question is how are we going to establish the SSH?
Right. For taking SSH, what are the requirements that we need?
Port 22 open.
Right?
And you'll have to have the PEM key.
Yes. First, we need the private IP of the machine, like the virtual machine. Okay, for taking remote connection. The next thing is the machine's encrypted key that we called as PEM key. PEM key. Whenever we deploying a new machine, there's option to create a PEM key or we can use existing PEM key, right? So these are the two things, okay? These are the two things that we need. And in this local machine, we have the PEM key, okay? We need to keep the PEM key and we need to type the public IP along with the PEM key. Then we can establish a connection between this virtual machine. Got it. So the same scenario in our Bastion host, okay? This database machine have a PEM key. I mean, when creating the database, I am choosing GS no, that's my PEM key, my existing PEM key. So now the connection between not local, okay? Now the connection between different virtual machine within this VPC, okay? I mean in cloud. So first we need to log into Gem server, okay? Then from the Gem, we need to use this this PEM key to access the database along with the database IP. In this case, database have only private IP. So we can use the private IP with the PEM key of the database. In the previous scenario, we use public IP with the PEM key. In this scenario, private IP with the PEM key. So we need to keep the PEM key inside the Bastion server. PEM key. Got it. Anyone have any doubt? Okay. And now, see, now I am in my Bastion server. So first, the requirement is we need to keep the PEM key inside this machine. Okay. So that we need to create a file because I have the PEM key. Okay. I mean, that PEM key is downloaded in my local machine. So I'm using a file, nano file. So, GS, no. So this is a PEM key of my database. So I'm just opening that PEM key within a notepad. So just to copy. and paste in here. Okay. So I created a file with the PEM-key data. Save and exit. ls. So next thing is we need to make this file. I mean, we need to give some permission to the file. Okay. So coming to like Linux, we have, for example, we in this directory. Okay. So this is my directory, like pwd. So this is my directory where I'm working. Okay. Home EC2. Inside the directory I'm working. So inside the directory, you can see now I created a file that file name is file, also file. And inside this file, I include the PEM key of my database server. So from this machine and the user, okay, I mean the as of now I am the EC2 user, okay. Who am I? Yes, now I'm root. I switch to nano sudo su. So now I'm as a root. So the root we need to give the privilege to execute that file, okay. So coming to Linux, we have some terms are there, okay, like one second. Okay. So coming to Linux system, like Unix operating system, we use a command like chmod, okay. Chmod is a command we use to change the file system permission of a file or a directory, okay. This when we use chmod, uh, actually the permissions are specified by three set of digit, okay. So each digit representing different level of accessing for different categories. Actually, there are mainly two categories are there, like user, owner, group, and others. Okay, so I will showcase. So chmod is using for change modification. Okay, chmod. Commonly we use for change the modification of a file or a directory. Okay, so we need to specify the file name or the directory name. So coming to chmod, we need to specify the group owner. First, we need to specify the owner, the group, and others. So, for example, I am some digits are there. Okay, some 3 digits are there. So each digit have their own values. Okay. For example, uh, 4 4 2 1. Okay, 4 2 1. 0 as well, I think. Yes. So each value have their own privilege. For example, 4 read and 2 write, and 1 is execute. Okay, these are the values. Okay, just knowing the values. So if we are using, okay, 0 is no value. Okay, nothing there. So if for example, I am using consider ch mode. I'm using 777. Then the file name, okay, like some application or index.html, okay, index.html. So in this case, I am change the modification and give the permission to the file index.html. So how we will calculate this 777? Okay, take like this, okay, 7, value of 7, 4 plus 2 plus 1, that is 7, right? 4 plus 2 plus 1. That means 7 have read privilege, write privilege, and execute privilege. For owner, that is first 7 is for owner, second for the group, and third for the others. That means everyone can access the file with the full privilege. For example, I am providing chmod 400 and the file name. Okay. So what is the value? Only read, right? 0 is for no execute, nothing for the group and others. For owner, only read access. They can read the file. Got it. So similar way, we need to provide the value for, when coming to modification. Got it. So next time we are using different values like 555 or like for that scenario, we can just calculate. For example, for 555, that means read and execute power. 4 plus 1 is 5, right? So first 5 for the owner. So next 5 for the group and for the others, last 5. Anyone have any doubt? Fine, right? Just then we can jump into the lab. Okay. Now in this case, I am going to change the file. Okay, file mode permission, because whenever I need to run the file, I need to read the file, okay, from this machine. So we can use chmod 400. Then the file name. Here I am using the name as file, okay. So the files have a read permission, okay. Less minus. See, coming to the file, this is a file system, okay. Coming to the file, here you can see, we can read the file. This user can read the file. Got it. So the next scenario is, we need to configure, coming to the Bastion, we need to configure something, because now we will successfully log into the Bastion server and we create a file for the PEM. And for the, we use the same PEM for the, that is attached for the database. So now we are going to database and do something like just open database, and we need to configure security rules, something like that. So just to go to the security, this is database, okay. So go to the security group of database, and here you can see like SSH connection. There is the inbound rule enabled. The port number SSH is enabled here for the database machine. And here you can see the source. So everyone can access the database server. That's a role that attached within the security group. So we are going to change that because this is by default, okay? So in this case, we only provide we only provide connection from that Bastion machine, right? So we need to configure that. We just go to here, we can see the private IP of Bastion. So copy the private IP, and here we will provide the private IP. Okay. So this means only the database only take connection from this IP. Got it? That means the Bastion host private IP. So save changes. Then go back. So now we can do the SSH, okay? SSH. The file name, that is file. Then username, okay? EC2 @ EC2 user, EC2 user @ that is the username of database server, okay? Then we need to provide the database server public IP, sorry, private IP. This is a private IP. Yes. See, now we will successfully log into that private, the database server. Got it. Any doubt? So I'm just exiting. Now I am in my root, okay? Like we can change the host name. So host name, CTL, host name, Bastion. See, now I am in my Bastion, okay? Routed to Bastion. So now I am going to SSH to DB again. The file EC2 user @ private IP. Got it. So this way we use Bastion to access private machines. So I will show one more thing, just exit from here. Okay, now I am in the Bastion server. So from here we can get connection, internet connection. Okay, so I will just ping to internet. Okay, like to ping to DNS of Google. So we will get confirmation. See, so here we will get the acknowledgement from Google server. That means these machines have internet connection. So I'm breaking. Then I'm going to log into Bastion server. Okay, now I am in database server. This is our database server. Okay, so I'm trying same thing like ping connection to Google DNS. See, no connection. That means still the machine doesn't have internet connection. Got it. So yeah, sometimes I've told you sometimes these machines needs to talk with the internet and download some packages. Okay, so that scenario we need to configure NAT gateway. So after configuring NAT, we will get a confirmation from DNS. Not like this. Got it. So coming section we can configure NAT. Okay. So anyone have any doubt?
Sir, we got the thing. I mean, I got the thing. But it would be great if you can, stepwise tell us, like the yesterday you told us like 5 steps, right? What the whole process is. So
Hmm.
can you please tell, the whatever we did. So just first you will do this, and first you will create Bastion, and then you will configure it. Like, so please tell us point wise, so that we can memorize it easily.
Sure, sure. So coming to Bastion configuration, okay, Bastion configuration. So we have a private database and we need to configure a Bastion. When we configuring Bastion, ensure that we need to we choose public subnet. This is private. So the remote user needs to access gem, then from gem to database using PEM of the database and private AP of the database from the Bastion. Okay. So here the user using public IP of Bastion and PEM key of the Bastion. Okay, that's it. So what are the things we need to do? First thing, configure both machines like Bastion and database machine we need to configure. Next, configure in the sense of deploy. Okay, I mean launching. Next thing is
Instance launching, right?
yes, just deploying that machines.
Right. Okay.
So the next thing is we need to log into Bastion and create a file. Okay, like create a file. That file include the PEM key data, that encrypted file. Okay, PEM key, PEM data. Third step, we need to change the modification. Chmod 400 is fine because we only read. We need to read the file. That file. Okay. I just provide a name file. You can give any name, okay, like PEM or any name key like that. Then the fourth step, go to the security group of database and I think we need to change the SSH. SSH source. By default, SSH source, I think 000, everyone can access that DB. So now we are going to change the source to only the private IP, okay? Private IP of the Bastion, private. That means only the Bastion, that means the database SSH port number only looking for the IP of the Bastion server. For example, if same subnet, we create another Bastion, okay? So we try to access the database, that database denied the connection because in the security group, you only specified that the private IP of the specific Bastion. Private IP. Bastion private IP we provide here. I mean the source. When coming to SSH, security, okay. Yes, security I mentioned here. Then the fifth step is we can directly access using SSH from the Bastion SSH, the file -i, then the file name. In our case, the file name is file. Then the is normally how we will access username and the IP. So by default, this machine username is EC2 user @ okay. EC2 user is a username and @ the IP, private IP of database. So these are the 5 steps we need to follow to configure Bastion. Got it?
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Anyone have any doubt?
Can you put these 5 steps in the PDF for us, sir? Like you
Yes.
did yesterday, the PDF.
Yes, I think this is a simple 5 step, right? I mean, the first step is deploying 2 machines. Next one is log into the machine and create a file. Coming to creating file, for example, we can use same PEM key. Okay, for example, in deploying these 2 machines, 1 and 2, we can choose the same PEM key. Okay, whenever we configuring. So at that time, that file is downloaded in our local machine. So next time, the second 2, we log into the Bastion. Next, we create a file and just open the file in a notepad, the PEM file, and paste it in the file and save. So second step is done. Third one is change the modification. chmod 400, then the file name. We already created a file in above step, right? Second here. Then the fourth step is, I think it's confused, right? Just to go to the security group of the database. Just, in console, we just open the database. So there is option called security groups. So go to the inbound rule. There is only one inbound there, like that is for SSH port number 22. So the source is 000 by default. So we need to change the source as the public IP of Bastion. Fine. Then we can directly come to terminal and SSH -i file space EC2 user and the private IP of the database. So we will get the connection. Anyway, I will share the document. Include these 5 steps, and you can do the same lab in your own account. Okay, so we can just try to finish the lab. Got it?
Sir, can you provide the written material also according to the previous classes?
Yes. Previous classes for deploying machines. Yes, I will provide. No problem.
Yeah, okay. Sir.
Okay. Any other doubt?
Sir, it's gonna be like the same, like yesterday you sent for solution architect, like the PDF. So it's gonna be this like similar way you're gonna share for these classes, like for the training which we are getting now.
As of now, we only share the videos. Okay. For example.
Yeah, as of now.
Yes. So, and coming to the lab, I mean, CACD lab, I will provide the steps, codes, and everything.
Okay.
These are the, comparing with the CACD lab, this is a small labs, like just configuring Bastion like that. These are the interview, when we facing interview, they will ask similar questions from networking, but these are actually networking, okay? And coming to, we have 2 more classes for networking, like Bastion NAT configuration. And for NAT configure, we do the same way, okay? Like creating Bastion and creating database. After that, we will configure one more service called the NAT gateway. Then we will configure NAT as well for outbound connection. And VPC peering is another section. So after completion of the networking side, we will jump into Linux. Got it.
Okay.
Yep.
Then we can wind up, right?
Sure.
Sure.
Any other doubt?
No.
No, sir.
Okay, then I will create one task and send it to you. You just do it on your own, okay?
Okay. Thank you for the class. Have a good morning.
Yeah.
Have a good night to everybody here, this side of the earth.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, sir.